Hello there. Today I want to talk to you about the one thing that scares the pants off most people when it comes to sales and selling. It's called objections. And I want to share with you some simple, common sense ways for you to handle objections. Notice I said handle, not reject them. You should encourage objections, right? My name is Peter Beckett, I'm the Village Marketer, and I can tell you all the objections are, it's simply a person who doesn't want to talk about something. They don't want to engage with you about a certain thing, for whatever it may be. Now, the objections really universally come down to four basic sorts, right? No need, no time, no money. Let me think about it. Let's do them in any order you like, right? Let's talk about no need. What that really means is if you have offered a particular product solution and there's an objection about it, then you really haven't identified the prospect's needs. Or more importantly, you haven't got the prospect to accept that they've got that need, right? If the prospect doesn't think they've got a need, that it's not worth solving today, then of course they're going to say there's no need for your product solution. Makes common sense, right? So in other words, what you have to do to avoid the no need objection is to make sure that you've got the prospect's pain points or problems identified, but more importantly, that you've got them to agree that their pain points are real to them and they need to be solved. Now, if there's more than one, get them to prioritise them and then confirm why is number one more important than number two. If you do it this way, then the prospect accepts they've got a problem. You know the order of the problem. Then when you present your solution, the no need objection will never appear. All right? The next objection, the no time. All you simply say to the prospect is this: let me confirm again that the biggest problem you have right now is, and you repeat back to the prospect what you've identified together as their pain points or their problems. If there's more than one, the order of them, 1, 2, and 3, right? Once you've got that, simply say, am I correct? Is number one, X, Y, Z, is this the biggest problem you're facing right now? If they agree and say yes, then all you simply say is, if this is so important to you, what else should you be spending your time on right now? And wait for an answer. You're putting the onus back on the prospect, right? If that need is important to them, then truly the time to fix that need is right now because they've already agreed to it, right? So you're bringing the objection into the present tense rather than thinking no time, okay? The time is right now. It's their problem, not yours. You're trying to be supportive and helpful. Get them to think that way. So that's why you simply say to them, tell me, Mr. Prospect, if it's so important to you, what else should you be thinking about right now? The next one, the no money. Many people think this is the biggest one, right? But I can tell you, it's not really. It's normally in your head, the seller's head, rather than the buyer's head, right? Because people, and you're the same, have a tendency, and we all do the same, to try and save money any way we can, right? It's normal, it's natural. But if someone says to you, look, Peter, I really don't have the money for that right now, okay? Then your answer to that question is simply this. Tell me, Mr. Prospect, if X, Y, Z, whatever it is the number one priority in your life right now, which I assume it is, correct? Just confirm one more time. Yes, it is correct. If that is so, then what kind of money do you have right now to solve this problem of yours? What that does is open up a discussion about their financial arrangements and not an objection to the solution you're providing them. And when you've got a discussion about their financial situation, then you can come to some sort of solution to their problem based on their budget requirements. In other words, you have simply got rid of the objection. You haven't got rid of the problem, you've got rid of the objection, and you're talking about the best way for them to budget for the solution, all right? And finally, I want to think about it. Now that can happen because, one, people truly want to think about it because they're just not convinced themselves that this has really happened. Or two, they may not be the decision maker, but they don't want to tell you that, right? Now, if that's the case, you can ask that simple question. Tell me, is there someone else you need to talk with in order to help make a decision? Get that out front. And in fact, you should have done that before you started, right? Are you the decision maker if I find a solution to your problem? But if it's too late, simply ask the question. Secondly, if they are the decision maker, but they still want the time to think about it, all you need to say is this. If X, Y, Z is your number one priority right now, and we get agreement to that, right? If that is the case, then what do you want to think about right now? What's on your mind right now? And wait for an answer. What you're really doing is getting the prospect to confirm to themselves that the problem they identified is real to them and that they really do want to get it solved, all right? And if they want to get it solved, then truly, what else would you want to think about right now? Because it's so important to you, right? So there's 4 simple ways to overcome objections. Now, please, when you overcome objections, you're not necessarily getting rid of the problem. I mean, the problem may very well be money. And the money problem's still there. But what you're doing is by diffusing the objection, you're then getting into the solution mode and you're out of the objection mode. And once you're in the solution mode, you're working with the prospect to help them solve their problem. See the difference? And let me tell you, if you do not diffuse the objections, you do not handle these objections, and they're still there, then you will never get to the solution mode in terms of solving their problem. Your particular offer, doesn't matter how darn good it is, will not be accepted by them because those objections are still there and you haven't handled them. So my suggestion would be to do this. Don't hang back. Bring them up front. Truly bring the objections up front. Don't wait for them to appear. In a conversation you're having with a prospect, you should simply say something along these lines. Sometimes when I'm talking with people about their online earning potential, I hear things like, I don't have the time, or I don't have the need, or I don't have the money, or I'd like to think about it. Do any of those things relate to you right now? If so, which one is that? And let's talk about that right now, okay? By doing this, what you're doing is you're leading the conversation and you're helping the prospect to identify if they do have an objection, to handle the objection, and then solve the problem they've got with your solution. So there you are. Just keep in mind that when people have objections, it's probably because of fear of some sort, or you have not built the know, like and trust factor with your prospect. If they don't know you or like you or trust you, they'll come up with some sort of objection purely to stop you or to get rid of you. And if that's the case, you deserve what you get, right? You need to build the know, like and trust factor before you even offer a solution. That is so simple, but so many people make that terrible, awful mistake. Don't offer a solution until you know you've built rapport with the customer, till you know what the prospect or the customer's needs and problems really are, what the priority is, and that they have accepted that they need that problem solved. Once you've done that, then you can offer your solution. And the chance of an objection being raised is pretty darn minimal then. All right? I hope you found that helpful. All the best. I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.